Hey everybody, Donkey Storm here, and today we're going to go over the Frost Mage Mage Tower challenge. In this guide we'll go over talents, gear, consumables, an overview of the fight, and my strategy on how to tackle it. Everything in the video is timestamped, so if you just want to zip straight to the fight strategy, have at it, and as always, if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to see more WoW content. So this is my recommended talent setup. On the first row we're going to take Bone Chilling. This is going to make kiting that much easier. This challenge pretty much revolves fully around kiting, so that extra slow is going to be really nice. Same thing for Shimmer, having 2 charges of Blink. It's going to be really nice in creating space between us and the mobs we have to kite. And Cantor's Flow is a nice alternative to Rune of Power because it's just always active and we don't have to worry about it or worry about positioning. Chain Reaction is going to allow us to just further burst the mobs down. Frigid Winds, even more slow. Freezing Rain is going to be really nice to get those blizzards out. More slow to kite, and more Frozen Orbs for damage, and then Thermal Void purely for damage. So having tried a few different talents, I think this is a pretty clear winner when it comes to the talents to use. When it comes to gear, basically you want sockets. All your gear is going to get scaled down to level 50 anyways, so pretty much regardless of what you have, it's going to get scaled down. Sockets are kind of the one way that you can sort of create some wiggle room and get a little bit of extra stat in there. One thing to note for me that became really important was that although I was at the crit cap for Frost Mage in my Shadowlands gear, so just around 33%, when I zoned into the instance, it actually reduced my crit quite a bit, and I had to stack some crit to get back up, and I found that this actually made a really big impact on my DPS in the instance. Now, there's a lot of things you can do with legacy gear to stack gem sockets and different trinkets and stuff. I think this is pretty doable in just your regular Shadowlands gear, but I am going to link a Wowhead article about Mage Tower gearing below if you want to go down that route and really min-max through different old gear. As far as consumables go, we want to pretty much bring the standard stuff. So a flask, potion of intellect, your shadow coil, veiled augment rune, some kind of food. And obviously from a feast is best, but I was using crit food because I was really focusing on getting my crit up, or haste depending on where your gear's at. An armor kit, not really necessary. If you get punched by something in this instance, you are probably going to die, so I didn't use one, and they're a bit pricey, but if you really want to min-max things, you can grab one of those as well. Alright, so let's just do a quick overview of the fight before we get into the actual strategy. There's 2 bosses in here, and in the first phase, Karam is active. He's just going to chase you non-stop. He's slowable. You just need to stay away from him and DPS him down to about 33% to get to the next phase. Now, if he does reach you and hits you, you're likely going to get one shot or brought extremely low. Thankfully, he has short little T-Rex arms, and he is slowable, so you shouldn't get hit, especially in this first phase. As time goes on throughout the encounter, he'll gain a stacking buff that's going to cause him to go faster and faster, and that essentially puts a bit of an enrage timer on this fight, as at some point you won't be able to kite him anymore. Now, I don't think he gets this in phase 1. In phase 1, it's just sort of getting your feet wet with kiting Karam. Once he gets to 33%, we'll phase. There's also these purple pools on the ground. Just don't stand in them, they'll slow you. Now in phase 2, Wraith becomes active. Wraith will cast Shadow Bolt at you, which doesn't really hurt too bad, as well as spawn ads that, like Karam, will just fixate you and follow you essentially non-stop. This is a straight up burn phase. You want to get as much damage on Wraith as possible here in phase 2, and after about 30 seconds we'll head back to phase 1 again with a bit of a twist. So as you can see, I'm just DPSing Wraith here, and shortly he's going to go back immune and Karam will start following me again. So there goes Karam, he's starting to follow me. Now he will start to gain the movement speed buff now, so we're going to be DPSing him while avoiding the ads. We have a new mechanic in this phase, which is the Hand from Beyond that will cast this Grasp from beyond. If that gets off, you're essentially dead. So you want to DPS those. They're your priority target. And you can interrupt them just before the cast goes off. You don't want to interrupt them right away, as you're just creating less time for yourself to kill them. So again, we're going to DPS Karam down to 33%, switching to the hands as soon as they pop. Keep Karam slowed the best we can, and then the fight will phase yet again, and we'll be back to raced. So Karam's going to go immune here again once he reaches 33%. And raced will become active again, which is happening right now. So during this time, raced is going to add another mechanic. He's going to continue to Shadow Bolt. He's going to continue to spawn adds, but he'll put this summoning circle on the ground shortly. And what we're going to want to do here is soak the circle. This can either be done by standing in the circle yourself or by putting a pet in the circle to soak it for you, which is going to be our preferred strategy. So there you see there's a purple orb spawning there. It turns into a big purple swirly that shrinks. You need to soak that before it goes away. If you don't, it's going to spawn an ad that basically will come kill you, and there's nothing you can do about it. So those are a priority, as are those hands. So after a certain amount of time here, now both bosses will become active. So you'll have raced casting in the center, you'll have Karam and all the ads chasing you around, you'll have the hands spawning, and you'll also have the summoning circle spawning. And from here, it's just a DPS race to kite and keep all this dangerous stuff away from you. Soak the summoning circles while killing raced before Karam gets so much movement speed that you basically can't keep him off you anymore. And that's the fight. So let's go into detailed strategy of how we want to approach this. So just before Karam goes active, I like to throw a Blizzard on him to just kind of min-max things and make sure that he's slowed right off the bat. We're going to hold our Icy Veins to start, but we are going to use our Orb to generate some procs, and we're just going to use our basic Frost Mage rotation here. There's absolutely no hurry in this phase. Get accustomed to kiting Karam around and just maintain your distance. Don't let him hit you. Not much to really say about this phase. Things get a lot more hectic, so this is a real easy phase one here. Just don't stand in the pools. One thing to say though is when you know he's getting close to 33%, you're gonna want to start using some defensive abilities to reduce the amount of damage you take from raced. So Karam shouldn't hit you at all, and you should literally be at 100% the whole time. But once he goes down, now raced does cast on you. It doesn't hurt a lot, but it will add up. So we're gonna use our ice barrier and our mirror images. Now we're going to pop Icy Veins, and we're just going to go to town on raced. It's really important that we want to hit the ads with the Blizzard so that we get the cooldown reduction on our orb, but make sure that Blizzard is including raced in it too. You really want to get every ounce of DPS in every raced phase. So make sure your orb is hitting him, make sure your Blizzard is hitting him, and not just the ads. If I could get him under 70% in this phase, I always felt really good about the rest of the fight. So here I get him to 67%, and then Karam comes active again, and we immediately switch to him. We're going to maintain Blizzard on the ads as often as possible using Freezing Rain to get those resets on our orb. Switch to the hands, interrupt them before the cast goes off, but not too early. Allow yourself enough time to actually kill them, and then back to Karam. So we just want to keep that Blizzard rolling over there. And anytime that we feel any danger, we can use our Frost Nova or a Pet Freeze to slow him down. And whenever there's no hand up, we're DPSing Karam. As soon as a hand comes up, swap to it, DPS it down, interrupt it, and then right back to Karam again. So still not too bad. Don't forget you've got Kona Cold also in a pinch like I used there if you need to create a little bit of space and he's not slowed. So again, once he gets close to 33%, I want to make sure I've got my ice barrier up so that I'm not going to take really any damage from raced. And we move on to the next phase of the fight. Just always keep your Blizzard out on the On the ads, make sure everything is hitting raced. Everything needs to hit raced. This is really a DPS race. And you will get to a point where you just can't kite Karam anymore. Now when the summoner spawns, we're going to move our pet in there with a pet move macro that I will post down in the description for you guys. It's very helpful. And we're just going to focus raced as often as possible. When we get to the final phase, which is where Karam and raced are both active and all the other mechanics are present, we're going to lust and use our potion. We want to get through this phase as quickly as possible. So as you can see here, I'm positioning my orbs so they hit the hand and raced. I'm making sure that that blizzard is always up, slowing Karam and hitting the ads for the resets. And then anytime that summoning orb spawns, drop everything you're doing and stick your pet in there. And then that's pretty much going to be it. Just rinse and repeat. You need to have an interesting combination of patience and urgency here, as you don't want to get too hasty and let this stuff catch up to you. But on the other hand, like, this fight is on a timer. Karam gets faster and faster and catches you, or gets closer to catching you more and more as the time goes on, and we don't want that. So take your time, do the mechanics. Make sure you're using your defensives to maintain your health. A health pot also is really nice to have. And you will find yourself with that fancy mage skin as I'm about to get here. My biggest takeaways as I did this challenge, the things that really changed it for me from getting him to like 20% and dying to just finishing him off, was honestly making sure that my crit was up in the like 32% range. Just gave me so much additional DPS. So I hope you guys found this guide helpful. I truly do hope it helps you get your Mage Tower set done. If you did, please let me know in the comment section, or if you feel like I left something out, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to see more WoW stuff in the future, and I will catch you guys next time.